Mental health problems such as anxiety and low mood are common. They can affect up to 1 in 5 women in pregnancy or after having a baby. It's important to let people know if things are a struggle. Your GP, midwife, health visitor, or other professional are all trained to help with difficulties like this and to make sure that you get the support you need. Fathers and partners can struggle too. Having a baby can be a huge adjustment, and it's not surprising that many people need a bit of extra help.
My pregnancy came as a bit of a surprise. I'd had a difficult time during my last delivery, and when I found out that I was pregnant again, I started remembering back to how hard the last time had been. I was getting really anxious every time I saw something about giving birth on TV or online. I started avoiding my antenatal appointments, even though I knew I should go. I wasn't sleeping too well. Eventually, my midwife caught up with me. I told her how much I'd been worrying, and she said that these problems weren't unusual and that there were talking treatments which could help. She suggested that I see one of the psychologists who worked in the maternity unit. She was part of a team called the MNPI team. She told me that stood for Maternity and Neonatal Psychological Interventions team.
MNPI teams provide help to women who have mental health problems related to pregnancy or to giving birth, and which can be treated with talking treatments. These are also called psychological therapies. MNPI teams are usually made up of psychologists and midwives, and treatments might include anxiety management, cognitive behaviour therapy, and a range of other types of talking treatments.
I met up with a psychologist. She spent quite a bit of time just listening to my worries and how I was feeling. She asked me a few questions and then spent some time explaining what she thought might be the problem and how treatment could help. We agreed to meet up every fortnight over 3 months or so, leading up to when my baby was due. And she gave me ideas about how to control my anxiety when it got worse and ways of calming myself down when my thoughts got out of control. She also arranged to speak with my midwife and obstetrician so they knew about my worries and knew how to make my delivery as stress-free as possible. Over time, I felt much calmer about this pregnancy and also began to be able to think about my first delivery without feeling panicky.
MNPI teams can also help parents if their baby has additional problems and needs to spend time in special care.
When our baby had problems during delivery, she had to spend time in the special care baby unit. We were completely taken by surprise. My partner was able to stay in with her, which was great, but I felt completely alone at home. We had no family nearby, I wasn't sleeping, I couldn't eat, and found myself thinking the worst would happen to our baby. I convinced myself she wouldn't make it, even though the doctors told me she was doing well. I had to take time off work. One day while I was visiting, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was gasping for air. The nurses were really good and calming. One of them suggested I saw someone from the MNPI team. It only took a couple of sessions for me to feel back in control again. They arranged for me and my partner to meet up with them again a couple of months down the line. By that time, our baby was home and both of us were feeling a lot more settled. The contact really helped me get over a rocky phase.
Not all health boards have MNPI teams, but all should have pathways in place to access psychological help if it's needed. Sometimes that might be from a primary care psychological therapy service or from a perinatal mental health team, depending on the problem. You can find out more about psychological therapies and MNPI teams on the Perinatal Mental Health Network Scotland website. There are also links to information on other talking treatment services and some useful information for other family members to let them know more about how they can help you and how they can get help for themselves too.